Wheels are often something as a professional detailer that I see are overlooked quite often. You can have the cleanest vehicle imaginable, but if your wheels are dirty and nasty, it just looks terrible. These areas on vehicles are particularly prime to getting a lot of dirt, grime, brake dust buildup. They are just a very, very harsh environment. So when vehicles like this black Rivian R1T come in for a full detail process, I typically always recommend that we pull off the wheels, do a full ceramic coating on the face of the wheels, inside the wheels, and do some ceramic coating on the brake calipers as well. So today in this video, I want to show you guys a step-by-step process on ceramic coating wheels, the benefits of it, and a full how-to. Hope you enjoy this one. Welcome back to another Out of Spec Detailing video. So before we dive deep into the how-to and how to actually clean up the wheels, prep them for ceramic coating, and the actual ceramic coating process, let's talk a little bit about the benefits. Well, as you can see, a vehicle like this Rivian R1T, this particular client takes it off-road often, so you get a lot of dirt buildup in the wheels. Now, when you go to clean them, instead of having to get in there and really scrub everything down using very harsh chemicals and cleaners, what I highly, highly recommend is doing something like a ceramic coating. It protects the wheel itself and it makes it a heck of a lot easier to clean. Same principles apply to the paint on the vehicle. Biggest thing with ceramic coatings is ease of maintenance. 9 times out of 10, if your wheels aren't super dirty, they've accumulated a little bit of brake dust just from some driving here and there, you can typically spray them down and get 90% of the dirt and grime off. The same can't be said for an uncoated naked wheel, as you would call it. So that's really the benefit of doing this. Now, a big thing with ceramic coating wheels, a lot of shops offer wheel coatings, and when they do so, they typically don't go through the whole process of taking the wheels off, cleaning them inside and out, coating the actual barrels and calipers. Typically what happens is they just focus on the face of the wheels. Well, that's a really easy process, isn't it? But here at Clear Detailing, I really like going into the nitty-gritty, getting down, protecting as much as we possibly can. So there's only one way to do that, and that is pulling wheels off. It allows you to be able to get inside of here because you can see the wheel face looks pretty nice, but in here, tons of dirt and debris. You really can't reach in there all the time. We're gonna talk about some specialty brushes as well. I will have a full detailing video for a maintenance perspective on a ceramic coated vehicle on how to maintain it. So actually going in, cleaning the wheels properly is really important to having ceramic coated wheels. You don't want to let them build up and get super nasty. Now, something I do want to talk about with wheel coatings is you do still have to clean them sometimes. So this is not an application that is going to be, oh, my car never gets brake dust, or my wheels never get brake dust on it anymore, never have to clean them. Absolutely not the case. They will over time get dirty, but you're gonna see that they don't get dirty as quickly, they don't accumulate as much brake dust, but again, like I said before, the biggest thing is ease of maintenance. 9 times out of 10, spray it down, you're not gonna have to get in there. But when you do, it's a harsh winter time here in Colorado right now, so we've got a lot of dirt buildup on these particular wheels, so you're gonna have to go in there and clean that. But nonetheless, ceramic coatings on wheels are just an amazing, amazing product, and can't wait to show you this one. So let's jump into getting these bad boys cleaned, and then we'll get them prepped and ceramic coated. Great, so let's talk about what you're gonna need to actually clean up your wheels here. So we have our wheel bucket with a few tools in it. I'm going to kind of show you the tools I like to use just in this kind of circumstance. I'll leave a link in the description below to all the chemicals and products used here today. But right now we have a completely dry wheel. Now it's definitely got some dirt and grime from just, the Colorado roads right now. Like I said, this particular Rivian R1T does go off-road quite a bit. So we do have a good amount of sediment in the wheels, and we wanna be conscious of that. We don't wanna spray our wheel cleaner down and go in there with a brush. Why I say that is you're not giving enough lubrication on there. Let's get the big stuff off. So we're gonna start off with a pressure washer rinse here. Now I've got a full Kranzla setup behind me here. You guys can use a pressure washer, you can use a garden hose, whatever helps or whatever you have, you can definitely make this happen. So let's get these rinsed down. Great, so now we've got the wheel rinse down. We've got the big stuff knocked out. So what type of wheel cleaner do you want to use? Well, you can use kind of anything you really want to as far as wheel cleaning, but in this particular case, since I know we're going to be ceramic coating them, I like to use something like Simple Green. This is actually a Gyeon all-purpose cleaner bottle, but this is Simple Green inside. You can pick this up at Home Depot, Lowe's, anywhere near you, you can probably find this stuff. This is diluted 50-50, so 1 part water, 1 part Simple Green, and it's easy as we've rinsed this off and go ahead and spray it down. You want to make sure you get a good lather of cleaner on there, let it start working in there, and we're going to flip the wheel over. Since the faces are typically the cleaner area, let's start on this first instead of attacking the really dirty, grimy areas as well. So here we have Gyeon Tire Cleaner. While you're at it, let's get these tires cleaned up. You're going to come in, spray this down, get it nice and lathered, and then we're going to hit the face of the actual wheel. So we're going to let this sit for a couple seconds, and then we're going to go into our agitation phase using some brushes. Also, I do want to make a note. You guys are probably going to see me filthy in this video because wheels get absolutely disgusting. This stuff's spraying up on you. So I may have a soaking wet shirt by the end of this, but nonetheless, we should be good to go. So first off, what I want to do here is start on the tire. I can already see this building up some nice suds in here, pulling some brown residue out. And I'm going to go in with a tire brush. Again, I'll leave all these tools in the description below so you guys can check them out. Great, so we got our tire done already. So that's using a stiffer bristled brush. You notice I didn't try and get it here on the actual wheel lip. That can cause a lot of scratching on here, so keep it off there. But the tires are gonna get quite clean already. Now we've got quite a bigger brush here. It's a lot softer, and we're just gonna come in and start gently agitating all areas of the wheel. We're not looking to get every nook and cranny here, just looking to get kind of the bigger areas, if you will, knock off any dirt and grime. Now, again, these wheels aren't absolutely filthy. If you've let your wheels go for a long time, they are going to be disgusting, so keep that in mind. Here's a little lug nut brush here. It's nice for emblems, getting in all of the lug nut areas and any tight areas you may see, like this recess here around the valve stem, getting in there, getting all that dirt and grime out. Biggest thing with ceramic coating wheels is making sure you're prepping everything. If you're leaving dirt on here, if the wheels aren't perfectly clean, then the actual ceramic coating is not going to have an area to physically bond to. So you want to make sure you're spending the time, you've taken the wheels off. You guys hear me say this a lot on this channel. If you're detailing your car to this kind of degree, make sure you're taking the time to do it right. So another thing I like to do here is bring in a fresh, clean microfiber, and this helps me get in all of those little areas we may have missed with the other brushes. And this is very nice and safe. We've got a little bit of soap solution on here with our all-purpose cleaner on here. It adds some lubrication. You want to be mindful and flip this bad boy over, making sure you're not really scratching up those wheels at all if you have a high level of brake dust. Also, another thing I should mention, this bucket behind me here should not be the same bucket you're using for a soap mitt to wash your actual vehicle. Now again, like I said, I'm going to have a full maintenance guide to detailing your ceramic coated vehicle and how to wash it using the 3-bucket method. This is the 3rd bucket, so just be mindful of that. So while that sits there at front, let's move to the back side. Now again, this area is probably going to be the dirtiest area on your wheel. So come in here with your big fluffy brush again and just gently scrub some of these areas. You may have to apply multiple layers of wheel cleaner. If you've been kind of lackluster on your cleaning, or maybe you bought a used car that hasn't really been maintained super properly, The backs here are actually super easy. Going to grab my microfiber here again, flip it over, fresh clean side, wipe this down, get around the wheel weight areas there, and we are looking quite good. Great, so next steps here, we're gonna rinse this down, then we're gonna use the blow dryer up here to dry the wheels. Great, so we've now got a perfectly clean wheel. It's now dried. Few notes on this BLO Car Dryer. I like using something like this. Now you don't have to get this bad boy. I think these retail for right around like $400. They do make a cheaper version that you guys can absolutely use for this. I just need something like this as a professional detailer. You can see this crazy monstrosity. I go absolutely OCD, but something to consider here. You don't only want to dry the face, the barrel of the wheel, you want to make sure you're getting in all those nooks and crannies. So if you do go in and towel dry it, you may have a harder time getting all those areas. Also here on the tire, I dried this off as well, because what happens now, we're going to get the wheel prepped and then we're going to go in with our ceramic coating. If you have areas of water in there, that's going to affect the durability lifespan of the ceramic coating. So you want to make sure you're getting this as dry as humanly possible and absolutely as clean as you possibly can. So next step, I'm going to get it back on my wheel coating rack and we are going to get these wheels prepped and ceramic coated. Excellent, so we are now on the wheel stand. Check this thing out. So this is made by Poka Premium, and the cool thing with this is it's on rollers. So you can spin this wheel around, making sure you're getting every nook and cranny. You can flip the wheel around, get the whole barrels. But let's talk about a few things going on this particular wheel. So these are the Rivian 21-inch aero wheels, and they typically have aero covers that go in this area. And what I'm noticing here is that they are kind of scoured up a bit. You can see right in this area. That's actually from the aero cover. So I believe what happened was they had these installed, got some dirt, debris in the middle of them, and it's actually rubbed the actual clear coat down quite a bit. Now on the other 4 or 3 wheels, I guess, I tried to polish those out. They really didn't come out. As you can see up here, it's physically gone through the clear coat into the paint, taken chunks off. Honestly, this wheel actually looks quite a bit better than the rest of them did, so I'm glad we're using this wheel, but we're gonna go through the whole setup here and the whole thought process on coating these wheels. So let's do a quick run through of the actual products that we're gonna use to get this wheel fully prepped and the product I'm really recommending using for the actual ceramic coating. So first off, if you do have wheel weight tape in here, say you've got a new tire on here, they removed it, but there's still all that wheel weight adhesive, you would want to go ahead and remove that. Of course, don't take off the ones with the actual wheel weights. You want to make sure that your wheel and tire is actually nice and balanced. But starting off here, so this is Gyeon Prep, and what this is going to do is remove all oils, polishes, any old protectants that may be on these wheels. Maybe you had a spray sealant or there's some residue from the actual wheel cleaner. You want to use something like this to prep your wheel for the actual ceramic coating. The big thing here, again, I touched on this quickly, but with ceramic coatings, it is really all in the prep. If you don't take time to prep it, your coating's not gonna work as well. You're not gonna get the lifespan you're looking out of it. So it's really, really important to take that time to do it properly. Next is the towel for that. I'm gonna show you the whole process of actually doing it. I like to have these fresh, clean microfibers. I'll single use them, toss them. You never want to take towels that touch wheels, tires, that area, and put them back on paint. So I single use these, toss them, or I'll use older towels like this one here. I'm going to talk about that in a second. Now, as far as the coating we're going to be using today. So this is Gyeon MOHS Evo, and this is actually meant to be used on paint, and you guys might be quite surprised by this. but I have really found a lot of the wheel coatings don't last as long as I like. They go on really goofy. Now, there are some areas where you want to consider how you use your vehicle. If you're using your vehicle as like a track car per se, you would definitely want to use a very, very strong specific wheel coating. Why is that? Well, for high temp. Now, typically on a vehicle like this, we've got an electric car that uses regen. The brakes don't get used and don't get that hot. So using something like this, I have actually been extremely satisfied with this. I've been using it on my own vehicle. Amazing, amazing results. The way that the brake dust falls off this, the water beads up, just incredible. Now, something to note with this. This should be a 2-layer wheel coating. You can do one on this, but I highly recommend you take the time to do 2 layers. We're going to talk a little bit about the timing of that, but here you go. So this is a 50 ml bottle. This is one that I've already got cracked open here, so we're going to be using that on the wheel. Next is an applicator. These are really cool applicators, and why I like these, I actually use these on paint, on wheels, on trim, obviously new ones every time when applying the ceramic coatings. But what's cool with these, they've got a foam block so they can mold and form, but on the inside of those, they actually have this hydrophobic layer that doesn't allow the coating to soak in there. Ceramic coatings are very expensive. I believe this retails between $80 and $90 for a 50 ml bottle, so that's 2 ounces. So if you're considering that, it's getting soaked into the foam, you're wasting product at that point. So let's be efficient and make sure that we're not overusing the product. Next is a towel for coating removal. Now, Gyeon MOHS Evo is one of the easiest coatings to remove. It's a wipe on, wipe off. There's no muss and fuss about going in there and like getting this really tacky molasses feeling finish. This stuff is so slick, which is why I'm recommending it to you guys. I've used so many wheel coatings in my days, and believe me, they are just a nightmare, especially on something like a black wheel. They're streaking, they're getting high spots on them. I just had enough and said, I gotta find something better, so that's what I did. Next, you're obviously going to want a glove. You should start using a glove or gloves in your case with your prep and use that with your ceramic coating. Don't want to get that stuff all over your hands. And finally, you may want a light source to check your work. Now, me as a professional, I'll definitely come in here, check this multiple times, making sure that there's no high spot residue on the wheels whatsoever to make sure they are absolutely perfect. So let's jump into it. So here we go on the Poka Premium wheel stand, and we've got our prep in hand. What I like to do is spray down one side of the towel, like folding towels into quarters. Detailing, always fold towels into quarters. I hate, doing this type of deal with a full towel, not the way to do it. So I'm gonna spray down the face of this. Now I wanna keep it off the rubber here. It can kind of spot the rubber and do some weird, goofy stuff. But what we're gonna do is come in here and just wipe this down. Now this product you can kind of omit. I would say you can use 70% rubbing alcohol essentially, and that's gonna strip all of the stuff off. But I really, as a professional, I want the maximum cleaning power, and I want to make sure everything is 100% prepped for the actual coating, so we're getting the best lifespan on there. You want to get areas like in here with the lugs, making sure you're getting all areas. Now, it is typically one time and you're good to go. What I like to do, come back in here, spray it down again, make sure you're getting all those areas. We'll get this knocked out a little bit quicker speed like I'm normally working. But yeah, this is a very, very critical step. Do not skip this step, because I guarantee you, you're gonna have your coating not last as long. It's not gonna perform like you're expecting it to. So make sure you're not skipping this step whatsoever. Now, the other cool thing about this wheel stand is I can have access to the back of the wheel. I know I'm probably off camera here, but I can come in and wipe this down. And I can spin this if I need to. good to go. Making sure we're getting all the backs of the spokes while we're at it. And we're gonna come in for a second quick wipe down here. And I'll promise I'll return to the front of the screen. Great, so this is now, you can see there's a little bit of residue here. You don't want to come in here and immediately start ceramic coating this. Give it some time to dry. You can also flip over, quickly dry this, but get everything prepped. I can already feel how tacky this feels now. You can still see some residue going on there, but this feels super tacky. There's nothing left on this wheel. Again, doing it twice here, very, very important to do, and it's super easy to come in here. Like the grabbiness of this, yeah, there's nothing on here. So we are now ready to apply our ceramic coating. So here's our coating. You wanna make sure, maybe you have a half open bottle of this. You wanna make sure that this stuff has not been sitting around. Typically with ceramic coatings, it's about 30 days from opening, you know, to actually use the full bottle. After that, throw it away. Make sure they're within a year of the production date. Don't want to let this stuff sit. Again, you've taken so much time. Take your wheels off, clean them up, get them prepped. Use the best stuff possible. So I apologize off camera here, I'm gonna have to do this. So I take about a vial like this, I spray 2 pieces down on here, and then I'm gonna start going to town on the wheels. So I like to make a good kind of process around here. So I'm gonna hit all the silver areas first, come in, hit the gray lips. Now it should be said, if you're using this coating, you may wanna do the wheel 1/2 because you're definitely not gonna be as quick and thorough as I am. And it does cure very quickly. This stuff actually starts curing on the wheel within 3 to 5 seconds of application. Same goes for the paint, but just be diligent with that. You don't want to get it super thick, but make sure you're getting in all those areas. Let's hit these in here. So that's why I like this applicator. You can really bend and maneuver this bad boy. We're gonna come in here around the valve stem, make sure we get all those areas. Let's use our wheel stand. I typically don't, but it is nice to have the wheel up here to where you can move it around. I find it more useful for actually removing the coating. And there's the face coated. Super, super quick. I'm gonna come off camera here and grab my towel. So again, you wanna start in the area. I hope it's coming through on camera. You can see the stuff kind of sweating or beading. It's already ready to come off. So we're gonna come in and knock this down. Again, going in the same area that we went first. So don't come back and hit this area if you applied that last. You definitely want to be quick and efficient with this coating. Do not want to leave it on here too long. You can cause high spots. And for those of you that are curious, a high spot is when you leave an area of a ceramic coating unwiped. So if I were to miss this area and wipe in here, I'm gonna get a huge high spot here, and it is extremely hard, if not sometimes almost permanent on the actual area. Now there are ways around it. You can compound and polish it, but some of these are very, very strong ceramic coatings, just depending on what you're using. So what I like to do, you saw I knocked down the whole area. So the whole wheel has the big area removed. I'm gonna flip over to a fresh side of the towel and come in here. This stuff is just so slick. I mean, it is absolutely insane compared to how grabby it was before. And you can already see this is making it look quite shiny. What's interesting about this stuff is you can actually use this on matte and satin wheels. And I find that it doesn't make it shiny, it just makes it richer. But on gloss wheels, it just absolutely pops. It is so, so cool. And yeah, no issues there. So there's our ceramic coated face of this wheel. We're gonna flip this around. I'm going to ceramic coat the face. Then I'm gonna come back in with my Scangrip light as I showed you before and make sure that I didn't miss any of those little areas. Got this flipped around now. Again, make sure this is all dry in here. It should be for now. I'm gonna show you how much you wanna use on this. So what you're gonna do, come in, put a little drop there, basically squeeze it, put it out. Let's put 2 on there. Make sure you seal your ceramic coating. And then what I like to do is do a strip down the middle, and then I'm gonna work it in side to side, making sure I'm not missing any areas. I'll come back over this, do a crosshatch. It's a little harder to do that on the face of the wheel, but definitely the inside of the barrels is really what we're after here, because you know, you can definitely ceramic coat the face of wheels on the particular vehicle, but you spent the time, take your time with it. Now, one last thing here while we're back here. Let's put another drop down. We're gonna come in, coat the back of the wheels. Now this area is metal in here, so I'm not gonna actually coat that on these particular wheels, but this is just nice. You know, here in Colorado, we get a lot of road salt, road grime, you've got brake dust, you've got a lot of corrosive things going on back here, and these areas don't often get cleaned, so having protection on there is really, really important. Can already see this. I hope it's coming through on camera how this stuff sweats. It's really quite cool. And let's get this starting to wipe down. This is the really beauty of the Gyeon MOHS Evo, is you're not sitting around waiting going, okay, so it's about 2 to 5 minutes depending on my temperature, my humidity. This stuff is like, bam, it's ready to come off. It's really, really cool stuff. You can leave it on here a little bit longer. The working time isn't too bad. Kind of like to let it sit in here a little bit on the barrel, because again, this is an area we're not always touching. Coming in here, and let's wipe it down. So this is my second side of the towel. I've actually flipped it over, making sure I fold it into quarters. This towel gets a little grabby. So this is actually the towel that I take off of the, when I ceramic coat the paint. So this is my initial wipe down one. I launder these, then do the wheels, then they get pitched. Just kind of a nice, easy way for the towel. So they get 2 uses on them. They are kind of expensive, but I obviously build that into my detailing packages. This is just crazy slick. It's so freaking awesome. Again, make sure you don't miss any areas here. Boom, and that is a ceramic coated wheel. Now I'm gonna come back in here with my Scangrip. I'm just gonna kind of go around and check anything, see if I missed any areas. That's the real beauty of this product. Again, I know I keep saying that. This stuff, Gyeon Q2 MOHS Evo, this stuff is just the stuff. Works so well. You're not getting high spots everywhere. It's super slick, not hard to remove. Quick on, quick off. Very, very good to go. Now, I'm gonna talk a little bit about the curing time on this for your second layer. So if you're looking for maximum protection and do have a little bit of time, the nice thing to do on here, so we've coated this wheel and we're going to wait 1 hour before we come back and apply the second layer. I'm not gonna show you guys the second layer on this one because it's literally the same thing. Applying it, now you will feel that it's a little different. It's even slicker when you apply the top coat. That's why I love this product. It's just, I know I keep saying that, but it is just the stuff. So you're gonna wait an hour, come back in, do not use prep on this again. Keep the wheel clean, keep it dry, come back in, wipe it down with ceramic coating, make sure you're getting all the high spots off, and you are good to go. So here we are with our final result. This wheel looks absolutely pristine other than the unfortunate scrapes and scratches from the aero covers. That seems to be a Rivian thing on these, unfortunately, but that is a full how-to ceramic coat your wheels. Now, a few things to keep into consideration. You want to let this cure for around 24 hours. So that means keeping it out of the elements such as rain, snow. You want to try and keep this wheel as dry as possible. Now, there is a little bit of an extended curing time on the ceramic coating. This goes with paint as well, but we're going to apply that to wheels here also. You want to stay away from strong detergents or washing this with wheel cleaners for right around a week. So if you can, if your wheels do get dirty in that time, what you can do, come in, high pressure, rinse them off, dry them, and you should be good to go. But keep that into consideration. You don't want to, ceramic coat your wheels, go drive it through a snowstorm. Not a great plan. So keep that into consideration if you're planning on ceramic coating your wheels, or if you do have ceramic coated wheels, just keep that in mind as far as curing process. If you guys have any questions and want to see any other videos, always happy to listen to those ideas that you have and answer any questions I may have missed here in this video. But as always, thanks for joining us on another Out of Spec Detailing video. We'll see you very, very soon. Bye-bye.